Welcome back. We're doing number 3 today. Full Kropki is the name of the Sudoku. I'm excited. Let's go. Pretty simple. We've done a lot of partial Kropkis, I think. But basically, cells separated by a black dot, so all of these black dots have to be like a multiple of 2. So if there's a 2 there, this has to either be, a 4 or 1, because 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. That's very simple rules for the. And then these white dots mean they have to be consecutive, so that's a 9, that has to be an 8. Likewise, if this is a 4, this has to be either 3 or 5. Super simple rule set. One of those ones which doesn't take much to comprehend, hopefully at least. If it does, well, let's hope. Let's hope, basically. Okay. Once again, haven't done this for ages. But obviously there's a few things, like there are like little lines and segments. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that looks like a 5 cell. Consecutive. And obviously if this is a 1, it goes 1, 2, and it can't go back to 1 because it's in the same box. Whereas this could go 1, 2, 3, 2. Yep. But first thing is this one. Because the numbers you can have together are 1 and 2. You can have 2 and 4. You can have 4 and 8. Well, not 4 and 8. You can have 3, 6, and 4 and 8. So those are the only combos you can have across a black dot within Sudoku rules. How do I delete those? There we go. So this one has got to be consecutive, consecutive, consecutive. And I think, let's say this is an 8. This has to be a 4. That has to be a 2. That can either be a 1 or a 4. But I'm pretty sure nothing else but a 2, 4 can go there. Just because, I mean, if it's a 3, 6, whatever's there, this has to go there, and that doesn't work. What if this is like a 1, 2, so it goes a 1, I guess it could be a 1, 2, can't it? So it could go 1, 2, then 4, 2. Oh, it can't be, because then we need consecutive here. So 1 is only consecutive to 2, and that would be 2 2s in the box. So that doesn't work. Can the other way work? Let's say that goes 8. 8, 4, 2, 4. Ah, no, this is the solving thing here, this white into another black. So whatever's here has to be consecutive to another number that is also. So this has to be either the 2 or the 4. Because if it's the 1, it has to be consecutive to 2, but that means the 2 also has to go there, so it can't be the 1. If this is the 4, or I mean, it can be a 4 or a 2, with this being the 3. This being a 3. Just because there's no other number, whatever, this has to be either a 2 or a 4, we know that for certain. So that has to be a 3, which means that has to be a 6, and this is either a 5 or a 6. Ooh, music. Get a quick glimpse at what I'm listening to right now. A 2 or 4 means this has to be either a 1, a 4, or a 2 or an 8. So that can be anything, actually. Okay, well it can't be a 1, because if that's a 1, that means that's a 2. And then that would have to be 1, 2 consecutive. If that's a 4, it goes 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4. Okay, that works. Eight, not 8. So whatever goes at 8, no. I mean, this consecutively here means same thing, 1, 2, 4, 8. A 1 would mean that has to be a 2. Well, it can't be a 1 because you need 2 on each side. If that's a 2, that means it goes 4, 2. Right, and then we can't have a 1 there and there, and we can't have a 3 there. So if that's a 2, and that's the 4, well, it has to be because that's by 2. This has to be a 1, Therefore this has to be a 3 consecutive, which doesn't work, so that's not a 2. Okay, if that's a 4, I mean this has to be consecutive to be a 5. And that has to be a 2 or a 4, so that means that would be a 2. That would have to be the 8. And I guess that can be either a 4. Okay. Can this be an 8? No, because I'd have to have 4 either side, so that's just a 4. Makes that a 2. Which makes that an 8. Which makes that a 5. And this can now can't be a 2. And it can't be a 1, because then that would need to be a 2. So that's a 4. Which means that's a 5. Consecutive. That can either be a 4 or a 6. Which means that is now either a 2, an 8, or a 5. Well, it can't be a 5. 2, 8, or 3. Okay, well that 5 makes that a 7. Okay, this digit can't be 4, 3, 2, 4, or 3. So it can still be a 1. Black dots, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. So 1, 6, 8 are the numbers that can go there, which means this can be a 3, a 4, or a 2. All of which work at the moment. Okay, we've got a set of 5. What does a set of 5 mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, so there has to be a 5 there, basically. So likewise, there has to be a 5 in there, no matter what. Okay, this number is interesting actually, because it's got to have 2 consecutive that can't be either of the multiples. So this like can't be a 2, because then we need a 3 and a 1, and we could actually go 4, 4. I mean, we could do that actually, and then a 4 up there. Actually, no, we can't, because that now 4 would rule out there. And it was obviously not a 1. So it can't be 1, can't be 2, so it can still be a 3, it can still be a 4, it can still be a 6, or it can still be an 8. An 8 would mean those two would be 4s, and that means that has to be a 7, that's a 6, and that's a 9. Aha, these 7 and 4 don't work in this box, because this has to be a consecutive run of 5. And you can't get a consecutive run of 5 digits 1 to 9 if both a 4 and a 7 are in the box, so that can't be an 8. Let's see if the same thing works for a 6. 6 would mean these two are 3s. As we know, we have to have a 5, so a 5 can't go there. Which means this is the 7. And then this can either be a 6 or whatever, but I think we run into the same problem. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, so we can't do that in there, because then this can't be a consecutive set of 5 digits. So that can't be a 6. I think we're maybe going to find the same way with the 3 here. So those two would be 6s. A 3 would mean a 2 and a 1. It'd probably be... Well, no, a 3 would mean a 2 and a 4. Well, that would have to be the 4. That would have to be the 2. The 4 can't go there. We're onto the same problem, no consecutive. So that can't be a 3. So I think it has to be a 4. And I think if it's consecutive, if we're trying to keep this alive, we could either go 8s or 2s. And if we go 8 here, that means we need to go high here, and we can't. Like, we have to go 3 likely. So I think it's almost definitely a 2 in there, a 3 in there. So we can still get our consecutive chain up there. Now this would then be able to be a 3 or a 5, and this can either be a 2 or a 2. And this can still be either a 2 or an 8, which would be consecutive to either a 1, 3, 7 or 9. It can't be a 3. I think that is our only way of solving this. Given now we have 2, 3, 4, that means we have to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 5, 6, 7, so that's a 7. So then this is a 5, 9 pair, and this is 6, 8, which puts a 1 up here. And 2 is super restrictive, which means this can't be a 1, 2, it can't be a 2, 4, so this is either a 3, 6 or a 4, 8. And it can't be a 4, 8 because there's already an 8 in the column. So it's a 3, 6. This is 7 or 9 by consecutive here. 3, 6 means that's a 5. Makes that the 9. So we go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. The 6 makes that a 3. That's 6. This can't have a 1, a 2, or a 4. So it can't be 1, 2, can't be 2, 4, can be 3, 6, can't be 4, 8, so that's 3, 6 there. Which means that's also a 3 or 6, which means that's the 3. Can't be a 7, so that's a 5. 2 or a 4 here, which means a 1 or a 5 there. Okay, well these digits here are the numbers 1, 7 and 8. And surprisingly, only 7 and 8 are consecutive there. I know, has that surprised anyone else or just me? Okay, so we have to start at either a 2, 3 or a 4 and finish by a 7 here. So if we go 3, 4, 5, 6, we can't do it. So it has to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes that a 7 as well. The 4 makes that a 8. Now that can't be a 7 anymore. That 4 means that has to be a 2, means that has to be a 1. So no 2 here. And no 4 there means that's a 6, and that's a 3. 7, 9, we've already got a 7 in the column. Now this is missing a 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means this is a 1, 9 pair here. Oh, that has to be the 9. This has to be a 1, meaning this is a 2. And all of that is working out lovely at the moment. Do we have any? We don't have any open white or black dots. These 3 numbers have to be 1, 4, and 9. That can't be a 4. That can't be a 1. Okay, that could still be any of them. Okay, 1, 9 means that's either a 2 or an 8. Which, I mean, it can both be. If that's a 1, that's a 2, which means that's a 4. If that's a 9, that's an 8, which means that's a 4. So that's a 4 no matter what. Which means it has to be a 9 there. That's the 1, that's a 2. A 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need a 8 and a 9. And that's the 9, that's the 8. We need a 8 and a 9 again. So that's an 8, that's a 9, that's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. That's the 4, that's the 9. In this row we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So that's the 1, that's the 8. By the columns. Can't be a 1, can't be a 4, can't be an 8. So it has to be a 3, 6 with the 2 at the bottom. These 2 digits are consecutive, so they have to be, I mean, they're 1, 2. That's a 1, that's a 2. 1, 2, 4, 8, so this is a 3, 6. With a 7 at the bottom. That has to be an 8 or a 6. Can't be a 6, that's an 8. Which makes that a 7 or a 9. And that's also a 7 or a 9. These two have to be consecutive. That's a 9. As you can see, these first few puzzles start off pretty easy. Just flying through them, because long videos are quite painful. Feel free to slow it down or pause if I am moving way too fast. This column needs a 1, it needs a 4, and it needs a 5. That has to be a 1, because this is consecutive. And that's as far as we get here. We've already got a 1, a 2, and an 8 in this column, so that has to be a 3, 6. That has to be 4, 5, because that's a pair along the bottom. It's a 4 then, that's a 5 by the column. We need a 1. We need what? A 3, a 6, and a 9 in here. And the 9 has to go there. And then that's a 6. Okay, we don't need a 6 then. So what, that's the 3 then. That's the 6. And our last digit in here is 1. It's a 2. In here we need a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 7. So that makes that the 6, because these are consecutive. And that will be our 5, and that will be our 7. Easy, nice little fun one. Hopefully that all flows as well for you guys as it did for me. Yeah, I mean, pretty simple, pretty easy puzzle, pretty good one to follow. Hopefully you found it enjoying. Episode 4 will be, around the corner.